Cars that didn't age a damn bit. Let's get it. So we're starting off with the same thing that everybody else is thinking. McLaren P1. These cars came out in 2013. It's 2023. That's a decade ago. I remember journalists were talking about this car like, oh, it's so futuristic. Oh, it looks like a spaceship. It still looks futuristic. It still looks like a spaceship. I'd even go on a limb and say it looks newer than the 720S and 765 LT. I think it's going to be hard to argue that this looks newer than the Speedtail, the Elva, and other cars that McLaren has come out with since. They drop a car like every year. But if I walk into a McLaren dealership and tell them that this looks better than the Senna, they're not going to disagree with me. Next, we got the Lamborghini Huracan. Now, a lot of y'all are going to tell me that's a 2023 car. But you got to remember, this car has been out since 2014. Yeah, it's been refreshed, multiple front bumpers, rear bumpers, wheels, all kinds of different options. And I'm not even the biggest fan of this car. But this car looks like it could have came out this year. And they actually refreshed the interior too. You got a new center console with new infotainment and a slew of customization options for you to make it your own. Next is the G Wagon. And y'all are gonna say, well, that's a new car too, but you gotta remember they've been selling this car since the 80s. And up until the latest refresh, they really didn't change it at all over the past 20 years. So really you could get like a 2010 G Wagon and it basically looked the same as like a 2018 G Wagon. Nobody's gonna question you. They're not gonna know you spent $50,000 instead of $250,000. And the ride is gonna be just as uncomfortable and it's still gonna have the aerodynamics of a brick.